Anushna, and today I'm going to be talking about how to analyse commercial articles. This is going to be a part 2 of a video I already did. In my first video I explained a bit about the PESTLE form of analysis when reading commercial stories and articles, and today I'm going to be talking about the SWOT method of analysis. SWOT method of analysis is a method for analysing a business, its resources, and its environment. It focuses on the internal strengths and weaknesses of a business, as well as the external opportunities and threats for the business. And by combining these dimensions, you can draw a 2x2 matrix consisting of 4 quadrants, which are strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I'm going to explain a little bit about what each of these means, and then at the end how you can use these to analyse a commercial article. A company's strengths are its characteristics which give it an advantage over other competitors. Sometimes you might see these strengths also referred to as USPs, unique selling points, or FSAs, which are firm-specific advantages. Source of these strengths are resources and capabilities which are valuable, rare, hard to imitate, and widely supported across the organisation. Examples of valuable company resources would be things like a talented workforce and large financial reserves. There are 2 ways in which you can assess a company's strengths. The first is the VRIO framework, and the second is the value chain analysis. And how this works is that you essentially map out a company's complete value chain, from the purchasing of raw materials to the marketing and sales of end products. And from this, the management is better able to see where the true value is created. Weaknesses are a company's characteristics that would put them at a disadvantage to their competitors. In other words, they're harmful to the company. Examples of weaknesses could be poor reputation among customers, bad leadership, and ineffective production process. Weaknesses are best discovered by having enough feedback loops in place, both internally and externally. So this would be stuff like sending out customer surveys and organising monthly meetings for all the employees. But together, these strengths and weaknesses form the internal side of the SWOT analysis. Opportunities are external factors that may affect a company's performance positively. To assess the opportunities, a company should look for elements in its environment that it could use for its own advantages. The best way to assess the external factors is by using the PESTLE method for the macro environment, which I've already explained in a previous video, and a method called Porter's 5 forces for industry dynamics. PESTLE looks at the political, economic, social, technological, environmental and legal trends in the macro environment. Examples of opportunities could be increasing purchasing power of customers, governmental subsidies, favourable international trade politics, and general lifestyle changes amongst the population. Porter's 5 forces, on the other hand, looks at more specifically industry factors like the current competition, upstream supplier power, downstream buyer power, and substitute products or services. The threats, on the other hand, are external factors that could cause trouble for the company or business in the future. Similarly to the opportunities, one could use the PESTLE form of analysis and a Porter's 5 forces model to assess the elements in the environment that could harm the organisation. Examples of harmful macro environmental developments could be an increasing unemployment rate, disruptive technologies, and increasing government corruption levels. In terms of industry threats, that could be things like a new competitor entering the market, the availability of substitute products, and increasing bargaining power from suppliers. Together, the opportunities and threats make up the external factors of the SWOT analysis. So the first thing you want to do when using the SWOT analysis is to decide on the objective of your analysis. To get the most out of your analysis, you want to have a question or objective in mind from the start. For example, you could use the SWOT analysis to decide whether you think a certain business should introduce a new product or service. The second thing you want to do is to research the business or company, their industry and the market. Thirdly, and this is where you start doing the kind of matrix, you want to list your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats to the business. This list doesn't have to be definitive at this stage. It's just kind of all the ideas you can think of. Next, you want to establish a priority from the SWOT. So once you've completed the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, you'll have 4 lists, and from this you can work out what issues are the most important and what can be dealt with later. Finally, you want to address the issues that have been brought up by the SWOT, and to do this you can ask 4 questions. You can ask, how can the business use their strengths to take advantage of the opportunities identified? How can they use their strengths to overcome the threats identified? What does the business need to do in order to overcome the identified weaknesses to take advantage of the opportunities? And how will the business minimize their weaknesses to overcome the identified threats? Once you've identified these questions and finalized your list of issues, you can use the SWOT analysis to develop strategies for the businesses that you've read about or the companies to achieve potential business goals. So that was my explanation of the SWOT method of analysis for analysing businesses, companies and business stories. I hope you enjoyed it.